Yeah.
Jared Miller intro, take 3.
Hey guys, Jared here. Welcome to episode 1 of Sit Down Saturdays. Today I'm sitting down with my writer friend Blake, and we're going to talk about a little about what he does, works he's done, any tips, tricks he has for other authors and writers. Really hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned.
I'm Blake Slaughter. I am from Orlando, raised here in Claremont. I'm a senior in high school and am officially a published writer as of last year. Pretty much just writing for the Storyteller magazine, the local magazine based in Winter Garden. I wrote a short story for them and a poem I wrote the short story last year and the poem this year, the poems this year, and that's about it as far as public works, but I hope to write more for them in the future. The short story, I had the idea for like kind of something set in a foreign place, maybe like Italy or France or something like that. I ended up completely like scrapping that and just switching it for like Seattle. And basically it's this guy who loses his daughter to a tragedy. And he's sort of just him dealing with it. However, he starts to see things and start to wonder if it's her, if he's just hallucinating. And then, you know, it gets to where he finds himself alone in this apartment and somebody's watching him. And so it's one of those stories where it just leaves it open in the end. You know, is he crazy? Is she really back? And it kind of poses just a couple questions like that. So it kind of leaves you wondering. And I kind of like that kind of storytelling where it leaves more for the reader or viewer to kind of think about things. Well, through Storyteller, it was surprisingly easy. Like, the guy who runs the magazine, Shay, he's so incredibly nice. Everything, like, any questions I had, I can just message him. I could just DM him or email him. The editing process was really easy. I just had to approve some things from them. I mean, surprisingly easy. I don't think they're probably the easiest people to work with as far as publishing. I would probably say the short story as opposed to the poems, because poems can hold certain like emotions and things that you're feeling, but with a story you really have to give a character life, and you have to, like, poems can be more so about you, but like with a story you really have the chance to give a person and a place life and really just create places and create visuals in people's minds. And you have longer to do that than with a poem, I think. Definitely, I want to at some point write novels. I have actually been writing since I was about 11. I would have ideas for like movies in my mind, and I would be like, okay, well, you know, I can't pull $1 million out of my pocket. I'm 11 years old to shoot a movie, so I don't know anybody. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll write it. You know, I have an idea, I'll start writing it as a book. And so I started at about 11, and of course I scrapped that idea. I've gone through many different ideas, scrapped them, revised them, you know, anything like that. So, you know, I definitely do want to write longer pieces. I've started many pieces, gotten through some pages, but it's definitely like a long way to go, but I hope to at some point finish them. And I have like over 100 ideas probably saved in my notes on my phone. I think it could really come from anywhere. Like, I can draw inspiration from just about anywhere. I think music really fuels me. Anything, like from, you know, modern day things to classics to just instrumental music, like classical music. And I think other movies, any big thing from the way an actor chooses to carry out their role in a movie to little things like camera angles or lighting in a movie can really just influence me. Social media and social media posts, like pictures and photography, can really influence me of how I think I want that character to look, or how, you know, what that character may end up doing in the novel. Maybe you want the character to look really eccentric and colorful, or maybe you kind of want them to be just a little bit more boring in the background. So I think that can really come from anywhere. You know, as far as where my creativity comes from, As far as like family-wise, I'm not sure. I guess I'd say, my mom probably, because, she's always introduced me to older movies and everything. I guess, she was pretty much the one that got me into, everything like that. So I think movies definitely have the biggest influence on me, and then I would say music and literature along with that.
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie or anything?
I really, really love The Shining. I think that's probably my favorite. Stanley Kubrick's definitely my favorite director. I actually listed him as one of my inspirations in Storyteller magazine. I love all his work that I've seen so far. There's still more to see. I would definitely say, and this is probably something, I don't know, I could easily say things like, work your hardest and stuff, but I understand that some people aren't always able to work their hardest on it because they have other things to do. Life gets in the way. I'd say to work on it, whenever you can. But as far as, drawing inspiration from things, there's a big difference between inspiration and just downright plagiarism, and I see this a lot in movies nowadays. A lot of the things, especially horror movies, every movie kind of seems the same. They all kind of use the same jump scares. I mean, you watch a movie, the door slams 20 times. And a lot of times they draw inspiration from older movies, but unfortunately, there's a difference between paying homage to an old movie scene and copying it from beginning to end. So I'd say, if you're going to draw inspiration from something, to just put your own touch on it and don't make it the same exact thing. I think that's something that I personally have to work on too. But I would definitely say that. Another thing I would say is to definitely get involved with local magazines like I did, because I personally feel when I work better under pressure, knowing I have a deadline, knowing that I have to submit the story by a certain time, because I'm like, okay, I can get this done, where if I just have time to do whatever I want, I kind of go off, I start, binge watching TV shows and things like that.
You don't really have the discipline.
Yeah, I don't have the discipline or the, inspiration to do it. Future projects. Well, I have, as far as books that I've started writing, stories I've started writing, I wouldn't say countless, I have probably at least 5, novels that I have in the works, and ones that I started writing back in about 2013 or 14. So I really hope to get those done maybe sometime over the summer. As far as any other kind of short stories, hopefully with Storyteller I'll be writing more with them. I really love writing. I think I love writing short stories the most, and it could be something I draw from the past that I have, or I could come up with something completely new, kind of like a little like what I did with the last one I wrote. So nothing's definite yet, but I really hope to work more. Yeah, you can go to storyteller.com and you can purchase the digital magazine. You can purchase it like to your Kindle or iPad, or if you are in Axum in Winter Garden, you can pick up the magazine there and get the physical copy.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We do a lot of filmmaking and stuff, obviously, and we talked to a lot of filmmakers, obviously. So it's really good to get kind of a refresher from that. And you did pretty great, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, real quick, is there anything you want to say before we go?
Any closing thoughts?
Just I want everybody to remember what I said about the plagiarism thing, because remember, you got to make everything your own. Make everything your own and show. I think that definitely, if there's any writers out there, anybody who wants to go into the arts, anything, go for it, because we need more people like you, and you have to show the world who you are.